As we age, we start to lose our balance. So I'm just going to show you one exercise, the exercise I wrote about, that single leg stance, and various ways that you can use it to help people. First of all, you can do this with no equipment at all. So completely nothing in your hands or legs, because you're going to go to one-footed stance, and that could be hard enough without any equipment to destabilize. Otherwise, you can use any kind of flotation, a collar, a belt, a kickboard, anything like that. This is a fun little thing for a starter, and this is pretty nice. The things that are symmetrical, and this will curl up. So if I put my foot in this, it curls up on both sides of my feet. So that one is helpful, where something that's asymmetrical, and it's not quite asymmetrical, but it's going to roll and it has flotation in different ways. Let me retrieve my noodles. Actually, they're parallel bars. I use these for parallel bars in the pool. Usually I'll cut them in short bits to be parallel bars, because otherwise people will hold them like this and their shoulders go up. So alignment is very important. And if this is pushing them out of good alignment, that's not going to be good. You'd want them to be able to hold it and keep their shoulders down. Another thing about alignment is that people often just work on alignment. Just make sure that as you're doing this, alignment is good. We want to, it's not going to be balance training if their alignment isn't good. Okay, so with equipment, without equipment, with the parallel bars, something under your foot, you've got one foot that's on the pool bottom and the other one is considered the non-weight bearing foot. Usually when you make people go to one-footed stance, they'll bring their knee up in front of them because this helps balance. They'll also roll forward, which you don't want. Then that's fine, but let's play with just one-footed balance with that knee or foot in different positions. It could be practically touching the pool bottom. It could be reaching back, but not touching. It could be out to the side, not touching again. It could be crossing midline in front or behind, and you can test balance in that situation. It can be with the knee flexed but pointed out. It can be with the knee flexed and the heel, the foot coming up over here. You can play with that non-weight bearing foot and put it any place that you want. Now, once you get people into the position you want, and I'm going to try to straighten my leg as much as possible without touching the pool bottom, but hopefully you can't tell when I do touch. Okay, the first thing I play with is eyes. Just have them stand there and look, keep the head forward, look this way, and see if that starts to destabilize you. And it does. I can feel the difference. And the deeper you are, the harder it'll be. So also look the other way and see if that destabilizes. Then you can turn the head and look in different positions. Then you can close the eyes, and we all know that that takes away a lot of sensory input. If you are standing on flotation, you'll be able to get that non-weight bearing leg practically straight to the pool bottom. And you can work that way. This is very much vertical trunk control. I have a short video on vertical trunk control. This is vertical trunk control, but one-footed stance. So what people will do when they're in one-footed stance, it'll throw their balance off, so they'll be moving their bodies all over and their arms will be swinging, but that's not balance. Balance comes from the core. They should be able to do it without using any arms or torso moving. But then part of vertical trunk control says, can you maintain that stance and move your arms? The upper extremity movement. Here's contralateral, And you can do unilateral and see how they do. And you can do ipsilateral and see if they can maintain that. That was a little bit hard for me. You can do one arm going back out to the diagonal, crossing the midline behind, crossing the midline in front, any kind of upper extremity movement to challenge their balance and see how well they're able to hold it while maintaining good alignment. So upper extremity position, if they're going to be in this stance, you see I've got my elbows flexed because this helps me with balance. Then make me stop doing that and just straighten my arms and hold them down and see how long I can hold that. Then the next, I have to switch legs. My one leg is getting tired. The next one would be vertical trunk control with trunk movement. Can you bend and recover on one foot without arms going or torso having to swing around to keep you in place? Can you bend laterally and recover? Can you lean back and recover? Then also part of trunk would be reach. How far can you reach? And then recover upright stance. And I notice looking at, I'm cheating right now, looking on the video, my knee is flexed because that helps me with balance. So what I'd want is for that client to straighten the leg so it's almost touching the pool bottom. So trunk, also with, that's bend and reach that I showed you, but also with trunk would be one-footed squats. Can they do one-footed squats? And with the bend and reach, can they do a one-footed squat and come up with a turn? Or one-footed squat and one arm behind? So playing with it that way. Then from that, lower extremity movement. Can you maintain that without leaning, without head moving, arms moving? Can you maintain single leg stance and move the weight bearing leg forward and back? And then can you move it to abduction, adduction? Can you cross midline with it? And still maintain balance? Can you make circles, a little circumduction here with it? Then another progression that would make it harder would be, we'll just go back to forward flexion and extension, is to stop here, stop here, stop here, stop. And that makes it harder than swinging it because that uses momentum. There's just a little idea for you, and I hope you can use it, but help people who have balance deficits.